Hey guys, it's Hink here. So today we have to break down part 2 of this article that is looking at basically like women's alleged size. So a survey of over 1,300 women, and we're going to analyze the results that they talked about. Today in particular, we're going to be talking about how size affects relationships, specifically things like dating, things like one-night stands, friends with benefits, or even how it affects women's likelihood to cheat. We're also going to break down their preferences when it comes to length versus girth. So guys, let's just hop right into it. So guys, the first thing they talk about is penis size as it relates to dating. And they say 43.6% of women consider penis size when deciding to date someone.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I know I'm an old man, but the fact that almost 50% of women, when just deciding to date somebody, include PP size, like it just blows. I just can't fathom, can't imagine a physical attribute for my female partner to have that I would ever be like, well, if you don't have this, then I would not consider dating. Now, in fairness, things like, okay, like hygiene, certain things for me, if you don't shave your legs or shave your armpit, that's absolutely a deal breaker. So I guess there's things like that. But outside of those kind of more extremes, boob size, ass size, vaginal moisture, vaginal depth, ability to do a BJ. I mean, like all of these, like it just, I can't imagine that. How does this even work? Also, like before I date you, like I need you to send me a pic. Like, are they on Tinder getting D pics? Did they have a one-night stand and they were like, okay, well, I just banged this guy. Now I need to think if I'm going to actually date him. It's just like, what world are we living in? I know I'm an old school guy, but like, I just don't understand. Let me just reiterate, this is a survey. I talked about all of the flaws with survey results and selection bias before. But guys, this is a survey. You can't just trust everything that's said. And guys, we're going to be talking about this later, but this doesn't mean that it's too small, that like, oh, if a guy's a small peepee, I'm not going to consider it. Because here's an example here of a chick that had to dump her boyfriend because he was too big. Here's a graphic that they also put up. 40% of women are less likely to date somebody if he has a small peepee. This means like less likely. I still don't understand how that would come into play. Guys, help me out in the comments. Like, where is that coming in the timeline of dating somebody? Back in my day, when I was dating somebody, I would meet them, I would get to know them, go out on a couple dates, take it slowly, and eventually, yeah, things would get intimate if we liked each other. So we were already well dating. I mean, I just don't understand. You freaking young whippersnappers with your Tinder. Guys, have some self-respect. Now, guys, I think when it means a lot more when we're talking about actually breaking up. That means you're in a relationship with somebody. 56.6% of women would consider breaking up with a partner because their PP is too large, where 65.4% of PP would consider breaking up if their partner's PP is too small. Now, guys, this might be a super hot take, but I think it's harder for guys on the extreme sides, like size of like too big versus guys that are too small. First of all, in either situations, there's things that you can do to make sure your partner feels pleasure, okay? But if you're too small, so you're below 3 inches, that's biologically a micro penis, and you can correct that with a combination of hormones and different endocrine therapies. Let's say you're average, guys. Like if you're average, once again, the average size of a vaginal canal is about the average size of a PP. So you should be able to make that work with different motion, different positions that might allow for deeper penetration or whatever it may be. But if you're really big, it can just lead to bad encounters for both. If you're really big, you might not feel satisfied as a guy because like you're trying to do it and it hurts, she's clenching. You can read on her face when there's just a lot of ways that it can go wrong. And depending on your size, there's not a lot you can do about it. With time, I do think your partner can pretty much accommodate anything, but especially if you're early on in a relationship, like, yeah, it can be actually devastating I'm talking about like that big. But guys, also, if you look at the rates of definitely ending the relationship, that pink bar in the middle, it's right at about 12% in both groups, where it doesn't matter if you're too big or you're too small. So guys, like my small kings out here, like don't be thinking this is just talking about you. No, it's talking about both. And so guys, now let's talk about likelihood to cheat. So this survey result said 40% of women would consider cheating on a partner with a small PP, whereas 30% of women would consider cheating on a partner due to their large size. Important takeaways, guys. Those numbers, yeah, no, there's a 10% difference. It's not that difference whether you're too big or too small. It can be an issue. Once again, I think the bigger issue is leaving your partner unsatisfied. There's a lot of different toys, vibes, different things, Bilbo Baggins even if you need to, that can help to make sure your partner is satisfied regardless of your size. And guys, if your partner cheats, she belongs to the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
At least according to my guy, Araco. Maybe a hot take here, but I think that if your partner is going to consider cheating, that's irrelevant of your size. I think that that's more so a reflection of the character of your partner rather than actually like anything to do with your pee-pee size. Like people who are going to cheat are going to cheat. So please, especially my small guys out here, don't be thinking like, oh my God, I'm small. Like my girl is more likely to cheat for big pee-pee. Absolutely not the case. If your girl's a cheater, she's going to likely cheat regardless. Or if you don't treat her right, or if you don't know how to try to deliver as much pleasure as possible, or if you don't try to take care of her, for lack of a better word. Next, they talk about one-night stands, okay? And they have this graphic. 47.4% of women report that pee-pee size matters during a one-night stand. I'm going to go on my old man rant here, but I'm not trying to judge you. You do whatever really makes you happy as long as it's not hurting somebody. I don't think one-night stands are a good thing, and I have actual medical evidence to back that. Value yourself and value your partner. Have some self-respect and don't go out there slanging your D or just trying to get your body count up because you feel like that gives you some sort of validation or because something is missing in your life. First thing we're going to talk about briefly is just pair bonding, okay? It's this phenomenon where basically you have more meaningful and more impactful relationships with somebody else if your body count or body counts respectively are low. And there's actually neurologic evidence to support this. Here's an article here which demonstrates basically how this actually plays a role. It's not hyperbole to say that if you go around just slanging your D, or if you are a girl and you have your hoe phase and you're just out here sleeping with lots of guys, it can literally negatively affect all of your future relationships and your ability to actually grow a meaningful connection with that person. And I'm not saying it won't happen. God Lord, I can see,
Don't do the voice.
like I can see the comments coming because it is going to be very triggering for some of you guys, but it's the truth, guys. And honestly, that's why I think body count matters so much, especially when it comes to women. I do think there's a double standard, but it is what it is. But guys, there's physical risks, like obviously the risks of STDs or STIs, some of which you can't cure with antibiotics. There's a risk of unintended pregnancies. Typically, when the one-night stands occurs, there's some kind of substance that's involved, whether alcohol or drugs, so you have impaired judgment. And then, of course, guys, there's mental health effects, like emotional distress and regret, and honestly, just developing harmful relationships with women if you just use them as objects to have sex with. So once again, do you guys, I'm just saying, value yourself. Don't be a slut, regardless of your gender. Now, how does that play into when it comes to pee-pee size? Well, 47.4% of women report that pee-pee size matters when it comes to a one-night stand. I mean, once again, I'm not trying to like slut shame or anything like that. But if these are women that are having one-night stands, it's typically not high-value women. It's typically not conservative women. And I don't mean conservative from a like political standpoint. I just mean like women that actually respect themselves and aren't going to just sleep with a random guy. So you have to take that into account when you're looking at what kind of women are actually responding to these surveys. 43% of women say that one-night stands are less pleasurable with a small pee-pee. I mean, what do you want me to do? Even a 747 plane is going to feel small flying into the Grand Canyon. It's not as much about your size as it is about her size, okay? I think the average should be more than sufficient for anybody. Now, guys, when it comes to friends with benefits data, you can see here that 68.5% of women believe that pee-pee size matters in this situation. If you are in a friends with benefits situation where it is completely reliant upon basically a sexual arrangement, of course, pee-pee size is going to matter more. And guys, I say pee-pee for YouTube editing purposes and for algorithmic purposes. Once again, guys, this is my, old man ranting at the clouds thing. But do you really value yourself if you either use somebody or allow yourself to essentially be used just for sex? I mean, I just can't imagine a situation where that doesn't end with one or both parties being hurt. I just can't fathom that. But whatever, guys, do you. I'm not here to judge you, guys. Do whatever makes you happy. But guys, we still have almost 30% of women who find friends with benefits situation less pleasurable with somebody that is too big. It's not just about being too small. And finally, guys, we're going to look at the difference between length versus girth. What they found in this study is that they found that length and width are actually equally important. I mean, you don't want to have I'm not trying to be pejorative here, but like a 6-inch pencil D that's like super duper narrow. And you also don't want to have a chode where it's like 3 inches big, but it's like this big around. It's a nice blend of both. But typically speaking, if you had to pick either or, girth is going to be more than important. So guys, that's going to do it for part 2. Part 3 is going to be coming and it's going to get even spicier, guys. So guys, what do you think? Am I just completely off my rocker? Am I misinterpreting this data? Or is what I'm saying making way more sense than what the survey results are saying? Guys, once again, I released my Hink trial. where 7 participants gained on average a ½ inch in length and a ¼ inch in girth with photographic evidence using the techniques that I talk about in my Hink drop. Read the write-up and actually look at the photos yourself and see if it actually makes sense, guys. But just remember, guys, you're so much more than the size of your D. Be the best version of yourself. There's nothing wrong with self-improvement, but you are enough just as you are. All right, guys, peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.